It's how the war was won.
The truth of calculated brutality.
Propaganda has always played a part in shaping the public perception of war, what we are told and how much we are told. 12 months ago, we were given a different impression of how the war in Iraq would be fought and the reasons for it, with politicians acting on clear and credible intelligence.
His weapons of mass destruction program is active, detailed and growing.
With journalists allowed to report objectively alongside the troops on the front line.
The firefight's been underway now for about 15 minutes.
And with precision weapons promising minimal civilian casualties and with troops equipped with all the kit they need.
This programme is our journey on which we will examine what we were told a year ago and with the benefit of hindsight and a special BBC Three opinion poll, separate the spin of war from reality.
We were sold the image that the public would be given unprecedented access to the front line via the media. Viewers became addicted to the theatre of war, broadcast 24 hours a day.
But they expect to have the city under total control.
The war in Iraq, a 21st century conflict to be given the reality TV treatment. The coalition powers provided access, but was it really their PR trying to exercise its control?
Now, we want to provide information that's truthful from the operational headquarters that is running this war.
CENTCOM, a $1 million media complex in Doha, created by the coalition PR machine. It is designed to drip feed the world's journalists information on a need-to-know basis. Objectivity is the key to all journalism, but did this 21st century war censor and sanitize reality to a viewing public? Through history, every war has developed a new propaganda trick. This war redeveloped the idea of embedding, placing journalists with combat units in an attempt to control their message. Stephen Hurd, a photographer with Reuters, he was one of 600 journalists to be embedded. Attached to the artillery, Stephen was assigned a media minder who was there to overlook his work. He was prevented from sending some of his pictures through to Reuters.
The military like pictures of the soldiers sitting around eating, and any picture with a squaddy with his thumbs up is great for them.
Right from the start, Stephen's pictures were causing his military minder great concern.
On the first morning of the war, we landed in Iraq, in an area that they had shelled quite heavily the night before. I found a couple of Iraqi soldiers in a trench who had been killed by artillery fire. They were still clutching hold of a white flag, so had obviously tried to surrender at some point. This picture obviously was not something that my MOD minder wanted me to send. It's the same with every job you do. There's a PR representative who is there to steer you towards what they would like the news to be.
This is silly.
His name is Mohammed Saeed al-Sahaf, but during the war we came to know the Iraqi information minister by his more familiar nickname of Comical Ali. He kept the world entertained with his eccentric tirades and his denials that Iraq was losing the war. So why did Comical Ali appeal so much to the West? I met with the RT reporter Richard Downs, who attended the Iraqi minister's press conferences.
As a spokesman, singled himself out as being slightly different because of his turn of phrase, because of his grasp of language.
This is a complete disgrace. This is silly.
Is that a man in control? Comical Ali spun some outrageous lies. He kept us all amused, but did he convince the Iraqi people? Ali al-Bayati is an exile from Iraq and has had first-hand experience of the regime. He believes that Comical Ali wasn't respected in the Arab world. The picture presented to the public in the midst of the war is never black and white.